Now this is somewhat a taboo subject, but it's an important subject nonetheless. Yes, we're talking chamois cream. Yeah, the cream you put on your bum to make cycling that little bit more comfortable. And if you ask me, I think I'm the perfect man to talk you through it. I'm going to be answering all the questions that we're all afraid to answer. What even is chamois cream? And, well, should you use it? And how do you use it? I'm also going to be talking to an ultra-endurance legend, someone who knows all about sitting on a saddle for a very, very, very long time. Yes, we'll be hearing from Mark Beaumont himself on how chamois cream helps him stay on that saddle. So, what even is chamois cream? The chamois is the pad that lines the cycling short, and back in the day that was a thin piece of leather, hence a chamois. Now the riders back then had to apply some sort of balm or cream to that pad to be able to make it a little bit more supple to be able to ride on, and legend has it that they actually used steak, yeah, to alleviate some of that pain. But luckily, well, times have come a long way, luckily for you and I, and chamois have come a long way too, far from the thin piece of leather that they had to ride on back then. For many people, you might not need chamois cream for that reason, because chamois have come such a long way. But you might want to try it. Now, chamois cream is a thick cream that you can apply to the chamois, but most people apply it to the skin. Now, it's there to stop and prevent from friction, which causes chafing. Now, no one needs that. It's extremely painful and it can stop you riding in your tracks. Now, some people, like Mark Beaumont, use it all the time, and others, like myself, use it on special occasions, like the really, really long rides. But what I would say is on those wet rides, well, that is the perfect and the prime opportunity to need some chamois cream. Have it in your kit bag as part of your arsenal, so to speak. Right, stop the sniggering. Come on. Now you know what chamois cream is and how to use it, I think we should head over to Mark Beaumont to see how he uses it. So Mark, how do you use chamois butter?
Is this the first time you've had this conversation on camera?
This is.
Right, okay. Let me walk
enjoyed
you,
it.
let me walk you through it.
Yeah.
A lot of people haven't got their head around chamois butter because maybe on really short rides they've not had any issues with comfort. But let's face it, bike saddles are not armchairs.
Definitely not.
And especially if you get into a racier, maybe a time trial position, you're pushing the performance on the bike. I mean, yeah, you want to make sure you have a bike fit, you've got the optimal setup, but as you start to push the adventure, push the miles, comfort, comfort, comfort. And anything you can do to stop irritation on the skin has got to be a good thing.
And I guess what we're trying to prevent here with chamois butter is the friction, is the heat build-up from the chamois on skin.
And it's the things which you might not notice at the start of a ride, but over time, you know, it's the little things. I mean, I geek out about these things. It could be like the fit of your shoes and the footbeds, or, you know, the fit of your clothing and maybe a little label which you've not cut out, and just little things which, if you're out there for an hour, you're not going to notice. But if you're going to do a proper ride or do a back-to-back day ride or something like we're about to set off on, where you're going 800 plus miles, you know, time trial efforts, comfort, especially into day 2, night 2, is going to be absolutely key. And your skin takes a battering, you know, let's face it, try not to giggle.
And it's sensitive skin,
your backside skin is not the toughest. It's not like your feet or your hands.
No.
Step 2 of chamois butter is application. I don't think you need too much, because like any sort of moisturizer, you don't want to be like, I don't know,
overlube.
Nah, there's nothing worse than pulling on your bib shorts and it feels like you've got a wet nappy. You know, enough.
Or sitting in ice cream.
Yeah, I've heard it described as that.
Yeah.
But like, comfort clearly comes from a bit of moisturizer without sort of feeling like you're slipping around on it.
Can you put some on my hands? Is that one? Sorry, can you just give me 2 minutes? Oh, and before we go, last bit of advice, there is some etiquette to chamois cream. If it's a tub, don't double dip. Luckily, with the tube version, there's no risk in that. So there you are, our top tips for using chamois butter. Now thank you so much for chamois butter who's come on board to help look after our backsides on this next massive challenge.
We were wondering how to talk about this. We were wondering how we could film a segment about the sensitive skin on your bottom. So we want to thank the team not just for a bit of ride comfort, but also for bringing a huge amount of humour to today's shoot.
No, it's been good fun, isn't it?
It's been a giggle.
If you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up and let us know if you use chamois butter in the comment section below. Right, mate, you better give me some privacy while I
on your own.
while I do my application.